Done. Rory McIlroy, all the anguish, all the heartbreak, and he is full of joy. The career Grand Slam and the green jacket is his. What a playoff. What a performance in Hollywood over all the years here. Over all the years as the emotion pouring out of Rory McIlroy. All the close calls. All the chokes. 2 double bogeys today, including on a par 5. Missing a putt on the 72nd hole that would have won him the tournament. He overcomes all of it in a playoff.
I've never seen somebody so emotional.
He finally finishes the job. Rory McIlroy, who was looked at to be the next face of golf post-Tiger Woods, has just become the 6th man to ever have the career Grand Slam. And it took 11 times to do so, but he's finally done it. Rory McIlroy, the 2025 winner of the Masters. As that will be one of the most memorable embraces with his wife and daughter that he will ever have. And that right there is the walk of a winner. He'll walk with wife and daughter in tow to the clubhouse. Of the chance for Rory McIlroy, and they rain down. McIlroy for the
6 foot, I bet, huh?
For the career Grand Slam.
Here we go.
Can he do it?
He's taking his stance now.
McIlroy missed it!
he rushed himself too much, man.
He had it. He had it right there.
He rushed it.
Now he has to make this on the back end to force a playoff. And he does. Missed a 6-foot putt. And we will play on, everybody. As Rory McIlroy down the stretch, a couple of double bogeys. Bogeying the 18th, and Justin Rose has another life to live. It'll be a playoff of sudden death between Rory McIlroy and Justin Rose. The theatrics are off the charts right now as McIlroy goes over, kisses his daughter, kisses his wife, will walk up to the clubhouse with his scorecard and make this tiebreaker official.